The Golden State Warriors season might be in jeopardy after this loss versus the Kings, now officially going down 0-2. Both of these games have been very exciting, classic games that are just down to the wire, toe to toe with the superstars going at it with each other. And in this game in particular, you really felt like the Warriors could have pulled it out if they just had people knocking down shots, because no one really had a huge performance for Sacramento, but everyone was playing pretty decently. But the Warriors could have most definitely won this game. But it is genuinely impossible to stay in front of De'Aaron Fox, and when he wants to drive or shoot a mid-range or something, he's gonna get to his spot, and man, that dude is clutch. Harrison Barnes had himself a great game with some Jermichael Green type explosive athleticism. Domantas Sabonis had a bounce back game after a very nightmarish game 1, and even started this game off pretty badly, but really did pick it up around that second quarter and on. Kevin Huerter knocked down some shots, got in foul trouble, but when he was playing was pretty good. Malik Monk, of course, has always been very electric off of their bench. I really like what I saw from Davion Mitchell out there, getting some quality minutes for the Kings and really doing some quality stuff for the Kings. For the Golden State Warriors, they had many chances, like they had tied the game. I believe they took the lead late in the fourth quarter, but they just cannot get a stop. And even with the Kings, they couldn't get stops at times, with the Warriors being able to drive in on them constantly. Like, they were able to get layups and shots close to the rim at will, but they just went away from it at times, settled for threes, and at the same time could not stop what the Kings were throwing at them offensively. This also marks the very first time in the Steph Curry era of the Golden State Warriors that they have ever fallen 0-2 in a playoff series. And that is huge credit to the Sacramento Kings being able to do this when a lot of people picked the Golden State Warriors, including me, to win this series. And as of right now, it does not look like that's going to happen at all with how amazing the Kings have played. And yes, the Warriors are going back home for these next 2 games, but we also have to put in consideration the Kings are the best road team in the West. If the Kings just take 1 game in this 2-game homestand for the Warriors, this season is over for them. And even if the Warriors do win these next 2 games at home, they're probably still going to lose with how bad they are on the road, and the fact that it's game 7 would be in Sacramento because Sacramento has a higher seed. Steph Curry had a pretty good game this game. You know, Andrew Wiggins actually looked really nice for his second game back and his first game back in the starting lineup. Clay had his moments, but Gary Payne, you know, had his moments as well. But that was really it. Kevon Looney, I'm still impressed with Kevon Looney's defense on Sabonis. He had his moments where he was locking up, but Sabonis at the end of the day was getting to his spots this game and really being able to finish in the paint, unlike last game and a little bit of the first quarter of this game. And a lot of people are talking about what happened with Draymond Green and Sabonis. Sabonis, you know, fell to the ground after, I think he was getting knocked down by DiVincenzo or Jordan Poole or someone, and he fell. Draymond was right in this vicinity of where he fell, and he kind of like was grabbing on Draymond Green's foot, not super hard, but to the point where like he can definitely, you know, nudge Draymond Green's foot, and Draymond yanked it up and then stomped on Sabonis, looking like, at first I was like, did he just crack his ribs or something? Like, he was in major pain, Sabonis I'm talking about, and Draymond stomped on him, and everyone just broke out into like, what just happened? Everyone on Twitter is like, Draymond Green's kicking people again. Draymond was at the Warriors bench yelling and talking trash to them Kings fans that were yelling at him. Like, it was crazy Draymond Green stuff, kind of like what we saw last year against the Memphis Grizzlies. But my thoughts on the situation: did Draymond Green deserve to get ejected like he did? No, I actually don't think he did. And I actually think this whole situation was kind of blown out of proportion just because, you know, it was in Sacramento. They just saw their big man get stomped. Like, everyone's going to get crazy. Everyone's going to go like, what just happened? Eject him. But in my personal opinion, when you yank at someone's foot when they're going on a fast break, Draymond was trying to run that fast break. They got that rebound. They were trying to run it, and he was getting yanked from his foot. And when he yanks the foot, he's not like gonna subconsciously like be like, all right, let me slow down so I don't land on him. He's trying to run. He's trying to run as fast as possible down the court. And yes, he could have probably not landed that hard on him, but at the same time, you cannot fault a player, especially like Draymond Green, who's always giving his heart on the court. You cannot fault him for like being full energy 100% of the time. And that's what really causes. He was at 100% energy trying to run that break. He stomped on him because he was on the ground laying there, yanking his foot. And I'm guessing he just did not see him literally laying there. I mean, he was right below me. It wasn't like he didn't walk over him. He was already under him when he was trying to run. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below about that situation. I know there's probably a split mindset on who was in the right and who was in the wrong in that situation. I do believe that it probably should have been double techs. I think Sabonis deserved a tech for yanking or grabbing on Draymond Green's foot. That can easily lead to injuries. And I believe Draymond deserves a tech because yes, he still did stomp on him. I'm not going to say that was completely not dirty or anything. Draymond Green definitely shouldn't have stomped on him, but I don't believe it was necessary to completely eject him. Especially with the fact that Sabonis got no techs. It was just a personal foul, and Draymond got 2 techs. But for the Golden State Warriors, going down 0-2, like honestly at this point, for them to win a game, it might take Stephen Curry or Clay or Jordan Poole to have a masterclass performance, like putting up 40 or something. Because these games right here where they're just playing good, not like extremely good or great or amazing or like masterclass performance, they're losing still. They're not playing bad, they're just not playing incredible, and it might take a Hercules type performance from one of the stars on Golden State to actually just win one game. And like I said, with the Kings being the best road team in the West this year, I can see them honestly not going for a sweep, but almost a gentleman's sweep with getting one game in San Francisco and then going back to Sacramento for game 5 and ending it. I honestly picked the Warriors, but at this point, I think it's hard to say they're going to win this game, especially with how dysfunctional their offense can look at times. As of right now, I think the defending champs are at the brink of being eliminated by the new up-and-coming Kings, who are a incredible story this year. One of the best stories I've seen in my personal NBA fan lifetime, I guess you can say. Like, just the Kings, this story has been amazing. And for the Warriors, with Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, and everything that happened during last offseason, this could be their last dance, and it's not a pretty one. The other game that happened today was the 76ers facing off with the Brooklyn Nets in game 2, and for a lot of this game, it actually did look like the Brooklyn Nets were holding a lot of control of this game. Cam Johnson, what a performance from Cam Johnson. But at the end of the day, the 76ers took care of business. I'm not going to go too much into this game, because this series, not many people are interested in this. A lot of people are picking the Sixers pretty easily. This game was very low scoring, with the final score being 96-84, and going into the fourth quarter, it was like 70 points each team. Like, it was a very low scoring game, but Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey with a masterclass performance. All 3 of those guys played very well, but one player to worry about, in my opinion, is James Harden. Like, he had a very good game 1, but for him to have this bad of a game 2, that can be pretty worrisome when you go towards like the Celtics or Bucks in the coming rounds. You need consistent play by your secondary star, and James Harden only putting up 8 points, 7 assists. That isn't championship basketball by James Harden, and he knows that, the team knows that, and they need to expect more from him in the coming future. So the Sixers go up 2-0 and are most likely going to close this series out, maybe not in 4, but in 5, and the Sixers are going to go on to the second round more than likely. And the Nets didn't even play that bad of a game. Like, for the first half of this game, they were probably playing their best game in a very long time. Joel Embiid wasn't playing very good. James Harden wasn't playing very good. Like, the Nets were playing great, and then the Sixers just, towards that fourth quarter, they just really showed their experience and their star power with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. Like, this team, they might not have a great all-around game, but they can definitely win games like this, and that's what does make them dangerous, even with James Harden having a bad performance. But the 76ers go up 2-0 and are most likely going to close the series out. Maybe not in 4. I can see the Nets taking the game in Brooklyn, but definitely in 5 or maybe even 6. That's kind of stretching it though. But the Sixers are definitely going to close out this series in my opinion. So if you like this video, hit the like button down below, subscribe button, notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I upload. And if you agree, disagree, or you're on the fence with what I'm saying, put it down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. Be respectful, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.